Hey everybody, James Yaker Type Response. Thanks for watching. Well, I've done some long format videos I call No BS Bug Out that were like 2 hours long and with a bunch of little reviews in them. And people have been asking, where's this one, where's that one? Like they want timestamps because they don't want to watch the whole video. So what I've done is I've cut out some of those product reviews where I talked about those things, and I've made them into individual videos. You have to understand they probably won't make a lot of sense or total sense because they were part of a big thing, and I might have talked about the bulk of it during the video that you're going to see and maybe little bits of it the rest of the time. So I'm doing the best I can. This is because people ask for it, so I've broken those up. Here they are. I hope you enjoy. One of the things that should be in your bug out bag, or at least clear lenses. You have to have clear lenses, and I think I have forgotten mine. So this is a good lesson for me. The reason you want clear is because you probably be moving around the woods a lot, and even during the day, getting a stick in the eye is bad. But think about this: what is more debilitating than an eye injury? What other minor injury is this debilitating? Stubbing a toe, not even close to having a stick in the eye, or the irritation, the pain that comes from it. Even if your vision's not impaired, just getting something in your eye, that's you know, it's not good at all. And so clear glasses should be in your kit, should be in your bug out kit. Again, I think I've forgotten mine. I will hopefully not poke my eye out and regret that, but let my mistake be your lesson. So I'm trying a couple of things. I've got paracord, and I know when guys put up their shelters, they use paracord and fancy knots and stuff like that. And geographically dependent, like if you live out in the plains, there's nowhere to put up a thing, you know, there's no trees. So I realize that this is dependent upon where you're at. Again, this stuff that I'm using, Arcturus, this is on my Amazon shopping list. I'm not trying to make you buy it for me. I'm trying to get you to the places where you can ask questions like prices and stuff. A couple reasons I don't quote prices is, number one, I forget, and I've said them wrong before and made advertisers mad. So I don't quote prices, but who knows what year you're watching this video. I filmed it early in 2020. I don't know what year you'll watch it. And so the prices could have gone up or down, or whatever the case may be. But this is one of those fancy green on one side, reflective on the other side tarps. And I wanted to try one out. I've never tried one before. I wanted to try one out, and I also wanted to try the bungee cords. And the wind's coming. Check out my Kaminga compass here. I love this thing. North is here, and the wind is coming from north by northwest a little bit. So I'm thinking about putting it across here. Something like this is what I'm thinking. And ideally, it'll go up without a hitch. I think from here to here, I think I've got some natural hill and stuff here. I try to pick it, and I'm close to the water for a couple of reasons. Number one, because there's water there if I need it. But number two, I like the sound. It relaxes me. Another thing about the water is this. There's a hill here. It goes up in elevation several, I don't know, 75 feet. And so pay attention. So if it's cold out, no matter what temperature, it's colder by the water than it is on top of that hill. So like if freezing is a problem for you, like if it's really cold, don't be in the low areas, go higher, a few feet higher above the water, and it'll be warmer. The exact opposite, if it's summertime and you're burning up, it'll be 10, 15 degrees cooler by the water. Again, this is what I know to be true in the southeastern United States, and there are of course variables, but that's that. Also, when you're selecting your site, look around for dead trees. There's a dead tree right here just off camera, leaning away with a big root ball on it. So I made sure I wasn't there. And so I'm looking, I've looked 360 degrees. I'm looking up for dead things or things that are leaning. Because if the wind gets up, right now it's a late winter, There's no leaves or anything, but which lets me see the trees better. But I don't see anything dead or dying. And again, if it's a 100-foot tall tree, look 100 feet away from you for dead trees and things like that. Don't just look right around you. Look the length of the tree. Think about how far that tree would fall. And just down on the range, when we did our last alumni bug out camp out, there were some people camping where there was a deadfall that didn't fall, and it didn't fall till after the event, but it fell about halfway to the ground and was sticking out, and I went and cut it down. But if I think, you know, maybe hopefully they figured out I should pay attention to that. So I got a couple of different kinds of things here, bungee cords. Rhino brand is made in the USA. I don't know anybody at the company. I paid retail for these off Amazon. I don't know anybody at the company, but I've got a bunch of their tow straps, off-road equipment, tie-down straps for motorcycles. They make the best stuff. Like the tie-down straps for motorcycles is not just a hook; it's a hook with a clip on it, so it won't bounce off the eyelet. And that might not seem like a big deal, but if you haul motorcycles, when the trailer hits a bump and the suspension squeezes, then the hooks will come off. And so that little clip on, I used to duct tape them on. And then when I found these, but I've got a car hauler. I use their wheel straps, but they're made in the USA. I like pimping made in the USA goods. No problems there. But it's just various size bungee cords. I thought I might try them out if I needed to. And all the Rhino USA stuff comes with a storage bag, a fairly heavy duty storage bag, so you don't just have a knot of bungee cords laying around. And I've got some other ones to try. These are 6-footers with a carabiner built onto the end. And I know the internet's getting mad at me now for showing, oh, that's too heavy to carry and blah, blah, blah. But that's what I use these for, is experimentation. Like, what am I actually gonna find out if I use these? You know, will I find out that they're horrible? Will I find out that I should have been using them all along? You know, what could I find out? And it doesn't cost me anything to experiment and try this stuff out, and then we all learn from it. So if you're one of those guys who are just gonna poo-poo me because I'm not doing what everybody else does, I don't really care what everybody else does. Don't really care. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Again, it's not what I do every time, but there's nothing wrong with that. The paracord guys are going to get mad about it, but I don't really care. And let's see here. What I don't like about this tarp is it only has eyelets on the corners. So I don't like that. I like it to have at least one eyelet down the middle, because in the back it's really hard to tie down like that. So I'll try one of these short bungees. Which ones are the short ones? I guess the red ones are the shortest. I am glad they are color coded. And these Gorilla bungee cords, the hooks are metal. They're coated in plastic, but they're not plastic hooks. Trying to get it hooked here to a dead log. And if I need to put another log on there to hold it down, I will. You're never going to get it perfect. Perfect doesn't exist out in the woods. I checked the weather. I'm not expecting
any rain tonight. Doesn't mean I won't get any. It just means I won't be expecting it when I get it. Yeah, it should be good. If it was lower to the ground in the back, that'd be better. I might try to lower it down some in case that wind starts howling in tonight. Well, got everything but the tarp. The ground's still really wet, so I'm gonna have to sleep on a tarp or something. Yeah, I wish there was one more in the middle there. That'd be great. Well, yeah, it's not fancy, but this is where I'll make my claim. I'm gonna scoop these leaves back there and build that barrier up from the wind. I think I got it. I think I pretty much nailed it. Feel the wind's gonna come from there. My wife's in the background there. She's been doing some metal detecting. There's her old home place over there. But I'll check back in a few. Okay, so I've raked these leaves back for a few reasons. Number one, might be more comfortable. Number two, gets me off the ground. After I mash them down, it gets me off the ground about an inch, but the further I am away from the earth, the less it can drag my heat away from me. That's always good. Thirdly, forest fires. Not that we would have a big forest fire problem here, but raking those leaves around just to make sure that I don't have to get up, stamp anything out, or call the fire department or anything like that tonight will be good. Well, I'm losing daylight. I've already gathered some firewood and some kindling and stuff like that to start the fire or get a fire going. I have brought in some pre-cut wood for, you know, the big pieces. So again, like I see these guys out in the woods and they have all these logs cut, and I'm like, sure you did that with your camp hatchet. Anyway, so I brought that with me. But before it gets too dark, I've kind of run out of time showing you all the kind of stuff I want to show you. So I'll show you, basically, I got my bags. I don't know what all you can see sitting here, but that brown bag is my Blackhawk. That is my bug out bag that goes in my truck that travels with me around the country. So it's kind of unique as far as things I need out. The gray bag beside it, you may or may not be able to see. I think you can. It is one of the 12 bags I'm setting up, all identical for my family. And so I'm gonna use that as necessary, show that. Some other things I wanted to show you, what I'm gonna sleep in tonight. And then there's another big bag over here, I think it's off camera, that's got all my camera stuff in it. That's another thing they don't show you. They use 5 or 6 cameras, but they never show you they brought a truck with this camera gear in it, or a bag, or they never show you the charging apparatus or anything like that. But this is the SOL, and I know what you think it means. It means survive longer outdoors. This is the Escape Bivvy, and this is the best bang for the buck that you can get as far as a sleeping bag for outdoors. It's like Tyvek and stuff, and I'm gonna sleep in it tonight. I've used one before. I'm gonna sleep in this one tonight, and we'll see what the temperature gets down to. It's supposed to be around 40, which is not terribly cold, especially when you have a fire, but we'll still see how this works out. And let's see. So, my sleeping bag, I'm tripping over my stuff here. Sleeping bag. And I got a couple of these in different sizes. I saw where the guys that were using these reflector, because that reflects the heat down, they were using these plastic tarps. They were just using like sheet plastic. I found these on the Amazon. I got a couple different sizes. But some of these things are very expensive. These came out of the greenhouse or gardening section. They're actually for plants. But I thought it's a heavy duty plastic. It's got epaulets around it. And so this thing would hang here. I'll try to hang it up tonight before I go to bed. And it allows the warmth to penetrate through. This reflects it down. It's supposed to be very warm, but I'll try that out. I got two sizes, and this was the shorter one. And I found the prices to be very reasonable compared to some of the purpose-made ones. This is probably less heavy duty than the purpose-made one, but this is way more heavy duty than just a piece of clear plastic. And they come in different sizes. This is the smaller of the two. They're both the same width. I think they were 7 feet or something like that. And this one's, I guess, 3.5 feet or something like that. But we'll get more of this, more of that later.
So if you like that stuff, you can, right below the video, you can check my Amazon store to get more information. And if you buy through my Amazon store, I appreciate it. I get a tiny little kickback from that. It doesn't cost you any extra. And if you're more interested, if you have follow-up questions, probably if you watch the whole video of BS Bugout 1 or 2 or whatever one we're on, you probably get more of your answer. But if you want to comment and teach me how to build a fire, I don't need your help building a fire. This is James Jacob, Tactical Response, reminding you that your responsibility to be ready for the fight never ends.